I'd like to just do a couple of apologies, and that is from Derek Benson, Greg Smith, and Wayne Irving, who reported in that and sent apologies in that they weren't able to attend our meeting tonight. So again, welcome. Please sit back and enjoy. I'm going to hand over to Yvonne now, and Yvonne is going to introduce our special guest. Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you, Narelle. Thank you for hosting and always doing an awesome job. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker tonight. He is Jamaican born. He lives in Canada. He is happily married with grown-up children. He has a successful online marketing business. He's a mathematician. His acronym is AIM, A-I-M, which stands for Automatic Internet Millionaire. He has been in ONPASSIVE from the start. He is top leader on our leaderboard, and an amazing leader he is. And so without any more from me, let's welcome Michael Williams. Thank you, Michael, for joining us tonight. I know it's so early for you, but we do appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you, Narelle. Hello, Australia. Hello, New Zealand. Hello, the rest of the world. Yes, it's early in the morning, but, you know, ONPASSIVE never sleeps. You know, ONPASSIVE is 24/7, and that is a great thing, you know, so it's certainly wonderful to be here with everyone this morning, evening. I know for Australia, some of you even quite late now, but I look forward to spending some quality time with you today, so that we can all continue, you know, to have that flame burning within us, because we know something big is coming. You know, this company really is going to get us in the greatest shape of our lives. There's no doubt about that. And so many people around the world, you know, are going to see a dramatic increase, you know, in their financial stability, right? Because we're certainly in a great crossroad right now with a lot of turmoil going on in the world, economic turmoil. It's not going to get better. You know, I think society as a whole is playing it down at this point, but there will become a time where they can't help, you know, but acknowledge the fact that so many people are in financial trouble. You know, and when that happens, a lot of bad things happen in society, you know, but I'm here to say that ONPASSIVE can make a difference in your lives and also in the lives of your loved ones as we move forward. So once again, you know, thanks for having me here, and I look forward for us to spending some quality time together. Yvonne?
Excellent. I might have heard you speak before, that you've shared just recently, I know, with Julie and Aaron, and seen on many webinars. So we do appreciate the fact that you have gotten up early for us here in Australia and New Zealand. And I know that, you know, we're coming into our corporate webinar, which will be only a few hours after we finish here. So we know that everybody's going to be excited about that. So it's a big day, and certainly a day to celebrate. Michael, one of the things I suppose we would like you to do is, if you have any more to share right now, or we can go over to Q&A. I know that we have some respected Australians on here, many, that want to ask a few questions of you. So it's up to you. We are limiting our time tonight because of the corporate webinar. So anything that you feel you don't need to expand on, please feel that's okay. The questions are going to be fairly simple, I think, and fairly easy for you to answer. So you just let me know and guide me how you would like to start off.
Sure. Well, I like simple, and I like easy, and I like short.
You should live in Australia then.
You know, I've never been, but I certainly look forward to coming there. It's on the list.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I certainly want to visit Australia as well as New Zealand.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of great things about both countries. You know, and so I certainly look forward to spending some time there. You know,
you'll find
Kiwi.
many beautiful beaches and many beautiful countrysides, particularly in New Zealand. Amazing countryside over there, always green. And Australia, I think they said it would take something like 127 years or something, 127 years or something to visit all of our beaches. So we're a great big island, and you know, we're welcoming anyone who wants to come and visit us. Absolutely. I see we have a hand up, so we might go into questions and then we'll just go along as the night goes, because I know there are a few who are wanting to. If you do want to ask a question and you do have a virtual hand, please raise it. If you don't, then please give us a wave, okay? But make sure you keep waving so that Yvonne and I can see you. Over to you, Mark Gannon. If you've got a question, please open up your mic. Thank you.
Thanks, Narelle. Thanks, Yvonne. And thanks for having us all on. Michael, how are you, mate?
I am great.
Well, it's bloody good to see you. It really is. Michael, just a general question on how do you see the next couple of weeks rolling out? What do you feel is going to happen literally from this point to actually the FIFA start time?
Well, you know, certainly some things need to happen prior to November 20th. We certainly, you know, need to be in our OBS or ONPASSIVE business solution, you know, and so that's going to start with us having access. Okay, someone is sharing.
It's all right. I've stopped them. Right. I'll stop them now, Michael.
Right. Sure. So, you know, we're going to have access to our full-blown OMail product, right? So we'll be able to use that as the gateway to get into the OBS. So we will have that at some point between now and then, right? So once we get in there, we'll be able to use those free products that are available. And then we'll get right to our first paid product, which is OConnect. You know, and so because it's a paid product, it simply means that people will be able to sell it and generate income as a result of that. So that certainly is a good thing. I know a lot of people will appreciate that. You know, so things are going to speed up in the next little while. The campaigns, of course, is coming with the World Cup. So that's going to be exciting. You know, so many people are excited about Burj Khalifa and what happened in Dubai and still happening right now. But I think the World Cup may even be a bigger bang because of the amount of people that will be watching that particular event.
Thank you, Michael. Oh, Mark, you're muted. If you could unmute, please.
Yeah, I was just going to say thanks, Michael, for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark, and thank you for asking that. Okay, over to Mary from Western Australia. Mary Bruce, mute yourself, please.
Thanks, Narelle. Michael, thank you very much for going to answer these questions. I've been asked to ask a couple of questions from people and they'd like some clarification. Can we buy extra traffic on activation?
Okay, so when the traffic is available, okay, so right now that's not fully decided if, meaning between now and November 20th, if we'll be able to have access to that, that is being finalized. But if it is available, absolutely, we'll be able to buy additional traffic. But certainly, once we get going and we actually have our product package, domain name, all of that set up, then of course, we'll be able to purchase as much traffic as we like. If we want daily, if we want to purchase it daily, weekly, monthly, we'll be able to do so. And of course, more traffic simply means you have greater potential of getting more customers. So that certainly is a good thing to do, absolutely.
Thank you, Michael. My second question is if people haven't got a passport or a driver, this is all to do with KYC and verification things. If people haven't got a passport or a driver's license or something, do you know what would be acceptable? You know, there might be some people that don't have, I don't know, photo ID or whatever.
Sure. Well, it'd be a good idea to get one. Right.
Yeah.
But at first, so in the beginning, you know, we're talking about an eKYC, which refers to like verification, just to make sure, you know, the account is real. It's a real person that has that account. So, that may not it may not be necessary. It's too early in the morning, Australia. It may not be necessary, for, government ID and all of that. There are other ways to be able to verify that someone is a human being, right? You can have certain characters that you have to type in or press the image. And, so there's certain things that can be done in order to get that verification. Because again, in the beginning, it's just to make sure that each account, is a real account. It's not somebody setting up a whole bunch of fake accounts, etc. Because we are practicing for the world. Okay, we as founders, we're practicing for the world. So when customers come, we want to make sure when they create an account that, again, every single one of those accounts are going to be legitimate, right? They're going to be real, because that's what ONPASSIVE is about. We don't want to have someone creating, 500 fake accounts, 1,000 fake accounts. That's not good for business, okay? So the company is going to ensure that we have something that is proper, okay?
Can I just cut in there as well, Mary? In Australia, not quite sure about New Zealand, we have the 18 plus card, which means that if a person doesn't have a license or a passport, I don't have a passport, but for those who are over 18, which is the age for business here in Australia or opening a business, I believe, they are able to go to the Transport Department and be able to get an 18 plus card, so that it gives them the verification for who they are. So it is a form of, identification, ID. So definitely tell anybody that doesn't, they can go and get that. They may need their birth certificate to show that sort of thing. But I know that Michael said, there's going to be many ways available. However, if something as simple as that can be done, that will help the process probably a lot quicker. So thank you for that question.
And also,
Mary,
one second, Narelle. Again, we also have the KYC for the wallet portion, right? So that's where you're going to need the IDs and all of that stuff, right? But initially, I don't believe that it'll be necessary for that. But as we move along and we have the wallet and you want to attach your bank account so you can withdraw funds, that's where you're going to need the actual documentation, okay?
Yeah, and absolutely. In Australia, if you want bank accounts, you have to show 100 points, which is usually something like your Medicare card, your driver's license, passport, and maybe a credit card, something like that. So just be aware that, each country will probably have their own way of identifying. As we know, there are many countries that don't have the necessary, what we normally have. They may not have available. So, but thank you, Mary. I appreciate those couple of questions, and I'll come back to you in a moment. Ian Gundrell found his virtual hand. Hello, Ian. Welcome, welcome. Open up your microphone and ask your question, please.
Thanks, Narelle. G'day, Michael. How are you going? Thanks for visiting. That's very good of you. I've just got a quick question on emails. The emails that we're using at the moment, typically Gmail, if you like, we're logging in and out with that. What role do you see our original emails playing when we switch to the OBS and start using OMail?
Well, good question. At first, okay, we want to make sure everyone still have access to their original email. Okay, so people should not be getting rid of it at this moment. Okay, so let's get in and create that whole mail account first. Okay, and then we see, I've had this particular conversation with our CEO about that. And so we want to make sure that people still have access to Gmail, Yahoo, whatever the provider may be, right? Until, everything is smooth running, and, then at that point, people have options, okay? But it could be something as simple as using the ID portion of your current email as your login for your OMail. So for example, if my email right now is abc@gmail.com, then for my OMail, I can create abc@OMail, right? So people just make sure, right now, make sure you can log into those regular email accounts. You have full access to it. because we just don't know, right? Remember now, this has never been done before, folks, okay? And we as founders are testing everything through. So you still want to make sure you have access to those. And once you get the green light from the company, then we can just move on from those providers.
Excellent. Thanks for that. Perfect. You want it easy? That's a good one.
Thank you. I just asked Yvonne, is there any questions in the chat first before we continue? No? Okay. I'm going to ask a question, but I know, Michael, you're our special guest here tonight, but I would like to hear maybe just a 2-minute from Marty and Red. I'll give them a couple of minutes before I call them out.
If you just keep on and I'll have a look.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yvonne. Okay, so I do have a question that has come from a few of our Australian people, and that is, do founders need to activate all the accounts at the same time? And what is your suggestion around activating our founder positions if we have more than one, obviously?
Sure. If you have 5, 10, 20, 50, whatever the number is, I highly encourage you to activate every single one of them. I mean, that's the whole point in getting these additional accounts, is to provide additional income streams. So, you know, people should be making sure it's affordable to them, right? Don't just get a whole bunch of them just for having them. So that's the best thing. But we also know that things could have changed for people over time, right? I could have joined a couple of years ago and, you know, life was great, and, you know, and my financial situation could afford me to, you know, have all these accounts activated. But maybe things have changed in the last little while. So you just do what you can, right? So if it means that, well, I have 10 accounts, but I can only activate 2, if that's what you can afford to do, then that's what you do. But if you can certainly afford to activate all 10 of them, it's in your best interest. Because again, in order to be able to withdraw any commissions that's coming into each of those accounts, you need to have made a purchase, right? So it is the best thing to do is to start top down, not bottom up. So if I have 10 accounts, I want to activate 10. If I can't do 10, I do 9. If I can't do 9, I do 8, and so on. Top down. Okay.
So is it best then to, if we activate them all, is it then okay to only say pay for extra traffic on, say, your main ones, or you know, for those who are wanting to buy extra traffic? Is that a suggestion?
Again, each account is independent, right? I know we can connect them and all of that, but each account is still, it's an independent business, right? So imagine you have 10 different businesses, right? And you're only focusing on 5 of them, right? I would focus on all of them if I can, right? And remember now, you'll be able to use commissions coming in, take those commissions, and also utilize that to purchase within the system, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean it's coming out of your pocket for everything, right? So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, you want to treat each one separately. So whatever you can for each one, that's what you want to do. So for me, for example, I certainly will buy extra traffic, you know, for all my accounts, because I want all of them to be, you know, the best version of themselves, right? I want each of them to be able to maximize their potential. And so that only comes from having as much traffic as possible going towards them. Okay, but again, people need to do what they can do based on their situation, you know, but always take a top-down approach.
Absolutely. And thank you for that. And for those who, you know, are sort of thinking, well, I didn't know about this, I didn't know about extra traffic, just remember that the company still goes to work for you. This isn't all done for you when they go out and market. It's just those who want to or can afford to pay for that little bit extra, or that extra N1, you know, up to 10, whatever you've got, then please go ahead and do that. And that way, as Michael said, we can transfer across from one account or one of our founder positions over to the others and establish those so that we're all, you know, getting that, the finances coming in for the commissions of the products sold for all of those products that will be available. So thank you, Michael, for that. I do see hands up again. I'm just going to go to Robert first. Robert hasn't been on yet. So Robert, if you could just unmic and ask your question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Michael and Narelle. It's like a bit of an open question, but we don't really know what the costing is. I know we've got to upgrade and we've got to do this and do that. But at the moment, we don't really know what it's going to cost. What I'm saying is I'm not worrying about the money, but for those who are, that hasn't really been established, whether it's OConnect or how much it's going to cost to do the I'm trying to think your domain name and all that sort of stuff. We don't really know the cost of that, so we might be panicking for nothing or worrying about something that we really shouldn't be. Thanks, Michael.
Sure. Well, the thing is this: what we do know is that it's going to be affordable for every single one of us. That's what we do know. Okay. So if someone tells me, "Don't worry, you can afford it," I'm not going to worry about it, right? That just simply means that whatever it's going to be, right, we're going to be fine, right? We will be able to afford it. And so keep in mind that, as I said earlier, the first paid product is OConnect. I mean, we know things can change, but as of right now, this is how things are. OConnect being the first paid product, we can generate commissions from that and then use those commissions as we see fit, right? So yeah, you're absolutely right that people should not be panicking. Every single one of us, we're all going to be fine. We're all going to be able to afford it. There's no, it's not mandatory to even purchase OConnect. You understand? But if you want to generate an income, if you want to be able to withdraw commissions, then it's highly advised that you do that. Okay. But we're going to be fine. The company will walk us, take us by the hand. Everyone's going to be good. No need to panic. That's for sure.
Excellent. Excellent question, Robert. Thank you. And just while we're on that subject, I just have one more question before we go over to Mary and Ian, and it is around OConnect. I heard just recently on a webinar that OConnect will be free for 3 months for the founders. Can you expand on that just a little bit further? I think there's been a little bit of misunderstanding or things around that. I'd just like it explained a little bit more, please, Michael.
Okay, so what we do know is that where OConnect is concerned, we need to make a payment. We need to purchase it. Okay, what we may have is it could be like a 2-week window where we can test it out, play with it, all of that. But it's a paid product. We have the other free products, the OMail, ONet, etc. Right? But OConnect is a paid product. And again, if people want to generate commissions, if people want to be able to withdraw it, what's the point of have all this money in the account and you can't touch it, right? You want to be able to withdraw it. So it is something that people should be prepared to make a payment. And as I said, the company is going to discount the price to us as founders. Okay, so we're not going to be paying full price of what it's going to be for customers coming in. It will be discounted to us. So we'll be able to afford it. So therefore, we should be prepared to make that purchase. But as far as 3 months, maybe I missed that one. But to my knowledge, it's about 2 weeks that we'll have it free. But again, that'll be clarified as we get closer. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate that, and I would like to mute that gentleman. Sorry. Okay, Ian, over to you. If you could unmute, please, and ask your question. You're muted, Ian.
Sorry.
Thank you.
And yeah, Michael, in one of Ash's recent webinars, he mentioned that, and we pretty much always knew this, that our dollars are going to be paid, or our values are going to be in our own currency in each country. So here in Oz, it'll be in Aussie dollars. But with that, knowing that, my question is there going to be an option whether we can stay in US or not, or is it just going to be every country with their dollar values?
Well, I believe everything is going to be in credits, okay? And then the credits are equated to a dollar amount, okay? So folks can leave their funds in credits until they're ready to actually withdraw it. And I think that's where the conversion will be created. But it's going to be the conversion amount, the exchange rate, right? So whether it's in US dollar or Australian dollar, it's still the same value, right? It's still the same value. It's going to be the equivalent of the Australian dollar versus US. So I don't think that matters. But you can leave it in credits though, right? And then make the withdrawal when you need it.
Yeah, okay. The main focus on that is that our dollar's very low at the moment against the US.
Sure.
And there would be advantages if we had significant amounts of money in there to be able to select when we did that transfer. But I suppose if it was in Aussie dollars, I mean, we understand all that. I just wondered whether there would be an option to keep it in US dollars, but not to be.
Yeah, that's, again, that's, when we get there, we'll see exactly what are the parameters inside, the account. But as far as the internal, okay, the ONPASSIVE account, it's in credits, okay? And then when you get into your wallet now, that's when you're going to have those decisions to be made.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Michael. Okay, we'll duck over for a couple more questions, and then I think we'll duck over to Marty and Red because I know that they have busy days. So if we go to Mary, can you unmute and ask your question, please?
Thank you. Yes, I've just got one more. Michael, I've been asked this question by a few people. Now, if obviously we're all sponsored, so if your sponsor has, say, 3 frontline, but then one of the team has gone ahead and, like you, just built a heap. So how do the commissions work? Does the sponsor get an overriding commission? And if so, how much? Because that would apply to obviously everybody that's built a team.
Yeah, so everyone who has a team is important. Okay, we're not going to have gone through all the effort to invite others and all of that, and then all of a sudden that just gets thrown out the door. And so it's still important. Okay, so we know, for example, on some products, you're going to have a situation where 50% of the commission that comes in goes to the company, right? Company has to pay its bills and so on, and then the other 50% is going to to be distributed, right? So a good portion of that, whether it's 20%, 30%, whatever the number is, a good portion of that is going to go to the direct sale. Okay, so this wherever that sale came in. So if the sale came in on my website, for example, okay, so a good portion of that will come to me, and then the rest of that commission will be divided up. But the company is not going to give us specifics as far as, oh, you get 2% and 1% and and all of that stuff. What we do know is that the company is going to be fair with us. They've been thus far. We paid $97, and yet I've not paid a cent since, for 4 years plus. So the company is going to do right by us. And I believe that every single one of us will have more than what we need. So we're going to be fine. But at the end of the day, we will have a report that we can pull off, and we're going to see how we're compensated. So it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 directs or 3 directs or 1 or even none. As sales come in, it will be divided up accordingly. But you will benefit. You certainly will benefit from having a team. There's no doubt about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Michael. Appreciate your questions tonight. Abdi, we'll go to your question and then we'll go over to Marty and Red. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Naro. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming, Mr. Michael Williams. Great to have you in Australia. And yeah, just 2 questions in one about the activation and packaging. Does that mean the domain name and then the traffic and the hosting, that's the as I believe is the activation we're talking about? We're not talking about the other products or connect to ONet. That is the activation, which everyone must be able to do that. They can't bypass that. That's the main activation. So when you say it's everyone would avoid, or everyone can afford it, does it mean like there is a categories 1, 2, 3, like depends like everyone's ability to activate that, or you think it's one for all for everyone?
Okay, so let me just walk through this real quick. Okay, so company says, okay, we're ready to go to this site and go create an OMail account. So not the OMail that's in your back office. That's just a demo product, right? Not that. Go to this particular website, go create an account. Okay, so that's your OMail account that leads you into the OBS. Inside there, you're going to see the other free products okay? And then we'll be able to get to OConnect, which is our first paid product, okay? So you'll be able to purchase that, okay, that product, okay? Now, okay, as we move forward, so whether that's a week later, whether that's 3 months later, as we move forward, now we'll be able to set up, okay, our actual business in the sense of now you can get the package, right? And the first package, right, or the lowest package as possible, you know, will contain your domain name, traffic, and so on, okay? That will be affordable for every single person, okay? Will there be other packages? Okay, yes, okay? Those other packages will cost more, yes, okay? But at the base of everything, you need to have a domain name, right? You don't have a business unless you have a website. Where's the traffic gonna go, right? So we're certainly going to have that, okay? But that is going to be affordable. OConnect as the first paid product is going to be affordable for every single one of us. The package that you actually need to have your full business going, okay, that's going to be affordable for every single one of us. It's going to be affordable. No one should be worried about cost. If we're able to afford the $97 to come into ONPASSIVE, okay, you'll be able to afford going forward. And again, keep in mind, when we make that initial purchase of OConnect, we can utilize that, okay, to generate commissions that can also help us to pay for package. You understand? You see how that works, right?
So you're saying that the paid product is before the actual domain?
The OConnect, yes, the OConnect is, okay? As of this point, again, we know ONPASSIVE is dynamic, okay, moving parts. Okay, it's not static, okay? So, you know, that could change between now and then, but as of right now, okay, what was communicated is that we'll have access to some free products. In other words, everyone will be able to create a free account, all of us, free account. So you have access to the OMail and the ONet, it's free, right? What can you pay for? What can I buy? I can buy OConnect, okay? As others are coming in, customers are coming in, guess what? I'm generating commissions. Can I withdraw those commissions? Absolutely, if I purchase OConnect, right? Okay, that's how that works. I'm not sure if I have money for the package. I just bought OConnect. Guess what? You're generating commissions with OConnect. You have money to buy your package, right? You see how that works? Okay, so it's going to be easy. It's going to be simple for everyone. You'll be able to get loads and loads of free customers coming in to utilize your OMail, right? Every single person that I know that I communicate with via email, I'm going to reach out to all of them. So guess what? I'm no longer using this. You can't get me here no more. You want to contact, you know what I mean? You need to reach me with this address, okay? Oh, mail, what is that? Yeah, people are going to ask questions, right? I'll give them a link. People click the link. Yeah, you can get a free account and you can check it out for yourself. Oh, okay, great. It's free. They're going to check it out. When they come in, they're, OConnect, what is that? They're going to click around. They're going to play. They're going to say, oh, wow, this is great. All these great features. Oh, this is better than Zoom. Let me get this. It's going to be affordable for them also, okay? Because we know Zoom can run thousands of dollars per month, right? And yet they're going to get it for such a low price, and it's unlimited. They can have as many attendees as they like. You understand? That's how it's going to work, folks. Start to think about this from a big picture standpoint and realize that everything that is laid out for us by our CEO and the company is in our best interest. It's to make sure that we are going to win. That includes everything, the free products, the paid products, the packages, everything is designed to ensure that we will win, and that we will.
Thank you, Mike.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abdi. Michael, just on that, so if we invite somebody over to what we would normally call a Zoom meeting, but now it's going to be an OConnect meeting, those people will actually have to sign up to be able to get the free version. Or is there a free version in OConnect, and do they have to purchase something, or can they come in and view it? I think I heard something about 21 days, or they have usage, or they can see it for a couple of days or something like that before they're reminded that they actually have to sign up.
Yeah, so when they, just like now, when I came into Zoom right now, I had to put in my name and email address, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so when someone comes into OConnect and have to put in their name and email address, they have a free account. Okay, that will give them a free account. And so now with that free account, they're able to see everything else that's there, right? And so the system will sell them. We don't need to sell them. We just need to get them in, right? As a free customer. Okay.
Oh, I think once they see OConnect, there will be no doubt.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Michael. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a 2-minute break and go over to Marty and Red. So if you want to have a drink, have a little rest, we've still got a few minutes yet. So Marty, over to you for your amazing knowledge and talent of making everybody smile. Thank you, Marty.
Oh, let's keep in mind it's early for me too. Okay.
I know.
I don't know how much you're gonna get. No, but like Michael was saying, a lot of things can change. Nothing's concrete yet. It's on the move. But yeah, listen, remember we had a picture of what the dashboard would look like. I don't care how anybody comes in on passive, they see that dashboard. And what is human instinct? They're going to be clicking around. The whole design of ONPASSIVE is for curious people, and everyone is curious. The AI will take over, right? You come in, this is great. Now, I just found out the other day, people will come into OConnect. There might be a guest period, but not very long. It's like a smorgasbord. If you offer too much, people don't know what to pick. So the company's going to go, here's what this is. But the value will be so great. I mean, think about it. What we're on right now is, I believe, $8,000 a month for this Zoom, or close to it. When they find out what they can get in OConnect for a fraction of that, and eventually unlimited, they're not going anywhere, right? And then remember, AI is going to kick in as soon as somebody comes in, whatever reason. And as far as the free products can set you free. I'll tell you that right now. You know, because like Michael said, I go to somebody and say, hey, you want to reach me? This is my new email. This is why. You know, I come to something it's better. The spam part of it has all these benefits. So just reach me there. Thank you. Oh, can I get in? Absolutely. And it just starts. That's how it starts. You get people, everybody wants to go to the top of the tree to get the apple. There's a couple waist high, grab them. And you get people interested, because the value of ONPASSIVE is going to sell it. You don't need to do a lot of, once they see it, they'll know. They're going to compare. People compare. We're customers, right? We're all consumers. They're going to go, I can have this or this. Are you kidding? And we're off the chart on every product we have. We're not even in the same league. You go to other companies and they have, this one's got 9 items, this one's got 10, this one's $10 more, but we're not even going to be on the same playing field. So yeah, I imagine as time goes, it'll get bigger, faster, bigger. And we're about to take the ride of a lifetime, no doubt about it. But yeah, a lot of things can change. You come in, you make your payment, and if you own it, you can collect for it. If you don't own it, you can't collect for it. So if there's an item you don't own, you don't lose the commission, but to get that commission and take it out, you have to own it. You could take the commission and buy that level or buy that product, and it just moves you up the list. Remember, everything everybody was worried about, the company has slowly eliminated it. Everybody was terrified of KYC. But to hear what he said the last time, it got easier and easier and easier, because he knows about Papua New Guinea. He knows about Africa. People say, hey, you know, over here, we can't. Trust me. If you're thinking it, they know it. I'm telling you, they know. And Ashton wants to be redundant. He doesn't want to go in, you got one merchant account. There'll be availability, maybe 6, so that if something happens, you can go to the next one. Thank God, because he has the experience, just like any other marketer, even more so, of the downfalls of online business. And he's going to be overkill on all the things that you need. It will be the best, and whatever you got. So, and like, one thing I want to say is, stay plugged in. The company has company's main thing is they don't want to leave anybody behind. But if you're determined to be left behind, you can win. And when I hear people say about a grace period, if you want a grace period, you also want a grace period of creating an income. Think about what you're saying. It takes money to get this thing rolling. Anyway, that's all I got right now.
Thank you, Marty. And you had nothing to say, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you're here. It really is lovely to see you. And yeah, you know me, I'm just the stay up late lady. But also just on that, when you were talking about that, can you imagine, like Marty said, you know, things have to be released in a certain way. If you got everything that Ash is releasing, there's no way that anyone, unless you're a top marketer or a top online person, computer, IT, anything like that, would truly understand it. And again, you know, the IT guys came on many times on different webinars to be able to share with you guys about what their experience was from the IT side of things. So we do appreciate it, Marty, and we appreciate the fact that, you know, soon in a few hours' time that we will hear a little bit more from Ash. So that would be amazing. Red, thank you very much for being here also. Appreciate it. You know, whatever time of the day it is, I'm not quite sure. I know it's probably afternoon. And you're probably wanting to do other things. So please share with us a little bit. I know you're the Q&A man, and I know that most of the time you get asked is, when is launch? Okay, we're not going to ask that here of you today, because none of us, if any of us are here and are still asking that question, then I'm going to kick them out of here right now. So put your hands up so I can kick you out, because I like a good kicking out. But Red, you know, and you three, you know, with Chris as well, Red, Marty and Chris, we've always in Australia here, I've always said to many of our founders and those to go to these, you know, to look in the back office, to go to these who share the truth. Okay, so we know that Michael is here because they have an understanding or a fuller understanding, and that's why we get to ask questions. So I'm going to be quiet now and go over to you, Red. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Narelle. Hello, Michael and Marty Dagama. Good to see you guys here. I'll stay on the theme of what we're talking about right now, and that is the questions that are coming out. We are in a very fluid time in ONPASSIVE. Things are moving extremely quickly, and as Marty has said, things might change. Michael is spot on with what he is saying as well here, and I do understand people's nervousness, questions that they are coming out with at the moment of what ifs, what's going to happen if I do this, can I do that? I understand all these questions, because at the end of the day, this is you being engaged, this is you wanting to know your business, and that's absolutely perfectly understandable and the correct thing to do. What I would say though is, as Marty has said, the company has thought of everything, guys. If you've thought of it, the company have already got it sorted. You know, this business has been put together and set up so that we all succeed, plain and simple. We do not need to worry. And I can't remember, I think it was Robert was asking about costs and all the rest of it, and the things like this is, our CEO has said it will be affordable. What that affordability is, we do not know, but one thing's for sure is we will have plenty of time to be able to do what is necessary. There's even going to be different ways of activating. So it's not one size fits all, and our company is extremely keen not to have one size fits all. Why? Because people are different. We do not want to have the bulk marketers coming in who will see, if I sell this, I'm going to make 10% on every sale, and they're just going to flood that one thing. We want it to be a hybrid of all sorts of things, so that it is a real business, not a business that people are going to get into and exploit certain areas of it. We want it to be fair for everybody, not just for people who have the big teams, not just for the people who have more money than somebody else. Everyone has a level playing field. So as far as questions are concerned at the moment, my advice to all of you is don't get too far ahead, guys. Okay, there's no point in getting to stages where you do not need to think if this or that's going to happen. Why? Because we're going to be told anyway. What we should be doing is concentrating on the now of where we are. That is corporate webinar tonight. Now, I am very, very excited about it tonight. Why? Because it's been brought forward 2 hours, because it's going to incorporate Hyderabad and Dubai. Our CEO wants the workers who are working on our behalf to be there. So I'm very, very excited for what's going to happen. We really are on the cusp now of the next stage of where we are going to go. Everything is being put in place for the right reason. We are on schedule, we're on time, and everything is moving forward as planned. So let's just relax. Don't worry about what's going to happen next week. Let's worry about what's happening now. We'll have more answers every single step of the way. We get more information, we get more answers. And normally, what is being said by our CEO will answer your questions. So that's it for me, Narelle. Back over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Red. Really appreciate it. And I think it is a way, you know, you guys have a calming way with your voices, with your words, to be able to bring that calming to a lot of us all over the world. You know, many who've never done online business before, it's a scary thing. You know, there's so many that have scammed people and stuff like that. We've been going for 4 years. If ONPASSIVE had have been anything, you know, had done anything wrong, we would be gone. You know, people have to understand that and have faith and believe that our CEO is doing his utmost to bring about change for our lives, not just for him, not just for those who are working for him, but for us as founders. And that truly, it's real sincerity, I see. You know, and I've grown in the business too. I first came in, I didn't come in for residual income, but I did come for Miss Mimi and the OBless platform. But I think everybody here in Australia and New Zealand and those on this webinar tonight need to understand that we just need to trust and have faith. Everything is being released as it needs to be, as Red said. So, okay, we've got a few more questions left. Michael, if you're still up to, if you've got your third cup of coffee, okay, we'll go over to Karen Masters from Australia. Thank you, Karen, for being here tonight. If you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Narelle and Marty and Red and Michael. Just a few quick ones, so they should be simple answers, I think. Profile pictures. Best if anybody hasn't uploaded a profile picture, is it best to do it now or wait till it goes into the new platform?
Well, doing it now just simply kind of gives you that practice, right? Just like everything else in old founders, it's practice. You know, we can practice going to old network and posting. You know, we can practice using the OMail, sending, receiving. You know, so uploading the picture, absolutely, I would do it now because again, it's just practice, right? We'll be able to do a lot of things in the OBS to generate engagement credits. So when we practice and doing all these things now, you get over there again, it becomes a way of life, right? So I certainly would recommend doing it now. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Michael. On OMail, there's as we're saying, there's a locked file on OMail. Is that going to be, is that got enough security on it to hold like passwords and things like that? Would that be something that you would do on that file?
You can if you so choose. We can have more than enough security. That's one thing that we're going to be big on is security. So yeah, if it's a locked file, you know, you're going to be good to put whatever it is that you want to put in there. But we also need to be wise in what we do. Okay, you know, it's not everything I want to put on my computer or my device, right? So it depends on what it is, of course, right? But from a security standpoint, it will be secure.
Okay, cool. And the other one, voice to text and text to voice, is that just worked from OMail to OMail, or does that go OMail to anybody, any other email address?
Well, that I don't know, but we certainly will know once we start using it. And when we test it out to somebody, we'll know, okay, so did you, was it voice to text? Did it work in your Gmail account or your Hotmail account, etc.? Some of those things we're just going to find out as we're using it. Remember, even when we get going with the full-blown OMail, we're still testing it out, right? We're still in that phase of testing it. So because what we've been using now is just a demo. It's not the full-blown thing. We have not used voice to text as yet with OMail, right? So when we get it shortly, we'll be in test mode as well.
Yeah, right. And the last one is on OPlay. That will be open, not age restrictions.
As far as age goes, again, we know everything on passive is clean, right? So I'm not sure that will be age restriction for that because it's it's going to be clean games. It's not going to be anything that's rated R or anything like that. So I would assume that, but it's an assumption I'm making at this point.
Okay, I've got 7 granddaughters and they're all hoping there's no age restrictions, so that's good. Thanks a lot, Michael. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Karen. Appreciate your questions. Okay, we're going to go over to, actually, Sampat, if you don't mind, just holding off for your question for 1 minute. We're going to go over to Brian from Australia and get Brian or Daniel to ask the question, if you don't mind unmuting. Thank you.
Hey, Marty, Red, and Michael, how's it going?
Great.
Glad you can join us at this early hours of your morning. I'm just wondering, with the sort of not the launch, but when we start OConnect and things like that, what do you think the top 3 products will be when we do start promoting on passive? And with that, how should we approach those products? As in, obviously the World Cup's coming up, we'll be promoting with the being sports and things like that. Will we start with OConnect and then progress on to other things like OCademey and things like that, or do we just stay with OConnect and see how the company goes?
Well, as far as promotion goes, I'm not necessarily, or my intention is not necessarily to promote a specific product. I just want to get people into the system. I want to get as many free customers as possible and let the system do all the selling and talking and all that fancy stuff. Because I believe it will sell itself based upon the features, based upon what people will see, right? So to me, it's just about getting them in. So I want to connect with people, in other words, right? So, hey guys, you know what? I'm no longer using this particular social media platform. Okay, this is how you can connect with me now, right? And so I give them ONet, right? And so they come into ONet, they'll see everything and they'll pick and choose what it is that they want. If they want OConnect, they're gonna buy OConnect, right? Because they'll get to use it for free initially, right? So let them sell themselves. I'm not trying to be a salesperson because we know majority of us are not salespeople. We can't sell, okay? Because if we could sell, a lot of us would be multimillionaires by now, okay? The reality is we can't, right? So why all of a sudden now, because I have ONPASSIVE, I'm going to start being a salesperson? No, right? I want to connect with people. I want people to come in, especially in the age of all this social influence, right? I want to be able to just have people connect with me, right, using what ONPASSIVE provides, okay? So instead of using all these other stuff over here, I want them to come over here and use all of this clean, ethical, you understand? It's a game changer, right? People are gonna love what we have to offer. So just simply get them in and let the system do the rest. So I don't have to target a particular product to say, okay, we got OConnect, so let me just focus on getting people who are using Zoom to come and use OConnect. Get them in. The company has said that it doesn't matter how they come in, right? It really doesn't matter. So whichever way. So if I know that there's this group of people over here that's always using Zoom for whatever they're doing, of course I'm gonna introduce them to OConnect, right? But in general though, all I want to do is to get as many free people in, all of my contacts that's in my Gmail accounts, every single email account that I have, every single one of them are going to know about ONPASSIVE. They're going to know about what I'm using now, and it's going to be their choice, right? It's good to give people choices, right? So leave it to them. Don't try to be that person that's out there trying to sell, because if you do, you're going to miss the mark.
Awesome advice. Just one more thing is that, do you think ONPASSIVE will go into the sporting industry, as in we find cameras with AI that will track the motion of the sports and everything like that?
Don't know about that, but again, in ONPASSIVE, anything is possible. If it makes sense, right, anything is possible. Something we just need to wait and see. Let's just get us going right now with what we have, right? Let's just go with what we have right now, because what we have is enough, but we know there's going to be even more. But let's just get going with what we have right now, and then we'll see what the future holds.
Great advice.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great advice. Let's get going, and let's just, as it rolls out, be ready. That's what we've been told, be ready. Okay, so, and supporting each other is very important. So thank you very much for that question. Okay, Sampat, over to you, please.
Thank you. I am audible?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Thank you all so much for inviting me here. Especially, I would like to thank you, Yoni Maket and Narel Varkan, because of which very tremendous webinar are being conducted since last 2 years. And because of these webinars, many founders get to learn a lot, especially for the founders of Australia and New Zealand. Webinars have provided to be a boon. Today, I also thank Zoom through this platform, for which we are meeting again this week with our special guest, Michael William M. Marty Digamo, and also Red Referencer. Although I do not have any question because of attending the international webinar, but there are some questions which are asked by the founder of our team. So with your permission, I want to ask my question here. As you all know, founder, there are many accounts with the same name, and the products we have in all the IDs are showing as beta test. So is it mandatory to open all the IDs and sign in our beta test product? This is my question.
Yeah, so the answer is no. Okay, if you want to play with it, then you need to sign. If you don't want to play with it, it's okay. So it's not mandatory, no.
Thank you. My next question is this. Yes, Narel?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, one more question. Thank you, Sampat.
Yes. My next question is this. As far as I know, to all the founders who will generate sales in our downline, that is, the company is going to give us commission or bonus for whatever product will be sold from our downlines or gender links. If ever any founder or customer has not bought any product in our downline, then how will we get income in that case? Or the company is also going to have some other source of income for us? Please do tell in detail.
Okay, so remember now, all of us as founders, okay, we're going to be customers, okay, every single one of us. Now, if somebody is a founder and they choose not to be a customer, well, they don't have a business, okay? So I would question why they're here in the first place, okay? So it's important that every single one of us, we get engaged. Remember now, the company's also going to have engagement credits. So with that alone, it simply means that every single person in ONPASSIVE, they're going to win, right? Even if they don't buy a product, they're going to win. But the question is, right, what does that mean to you? Are you here because you're trying to make $10 a month, right? ONPASSIVE was not designed for that. ONPASSIVE was designed to help us become wealthy, because if all we're making is $10 a month, how can we help others? How can we bless the lives of other people around the world? How can we bless the lives of people in our community? We won't be able to with $10 a month, okay? So the system was designed to help us create wealth. How do you create wealth? Well, we have to sell products. Sell and sell and sell and sell and sell. The system is designed to be the salesperson. Okay, that's why everything is infused with artificial intelligence. That's why it's automated. Okay, that's why the company will set up the site for us, create the content for us. We don't have to do any of that, right? Get the potential customers there. We don't have to do that if we choose not to. We just buy traffic. And so when we buy traffic, it's guaranteed that those amount, right, will be directed to our site. So therefore, over time, it converts. It doesn't mean 1,000 people come to your site and then all of them gonna buy right away. No, you may get 1,000 coming in, maybe 5 of them will buy something right away, right? And everyone else is just free. But over time, it will go from 5 that have bought to maybe 10 to maybe 20 and so on, right? So that's a continuous process. The sales process is continuous. It's not a single event, right? So people will purchase SAMPass. Whoever is asking a question about your team, if your team don't buy, they don't buy. Don't need to worry about them. We're not just dependent upon our teams. What about those who don't have a team, right? So it's not just about your team. So even if you don't have a team, we still have customers coming in. And the bulk of the people are not going to be founders. Founders are the smallest portion of ONPASSIVE. The bulk of the people are going to be customers coming in for a variety of reasons, whether that's for OConnect, whether that's to use ONet, whether that's for OMail, whether that's OCademey, and so on. Okay, so we don't need to be concerned about that. There's going to be more than enough on the table for every single one of us, and all of us are going to win.
Great explanation.
Michael, sir. Thank you, and thank you, panelists.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sam.
Manole.
Thank you for being here, and always thank you for your support. We appreciate it. And as Michael said, we don't have to worry about that. There's going to be more than enough. Founders are going to be customers and resellers, and if they don't buy, well, how are they running their business? And I just want to put my 10 cents worth in there. But remember, this is not MLM. Okay, get that mindset and chuck it out of your head. This isn't about who's got the biggest team, who's got the downline, who's going to do this, who's going to build me up, who's going to get my next support to get me to that next check next month. This is nothing like that. Nothing. Take it, shove it in the garbage. That is rubbish. It never worked. It never will. And for the few that it did work for, that's what our CEO saw. Okay, he saw those people and he said, this is not good enough. We see 97% working their bums off to try and make that little bit extra for their family, for their community, for their own little business. This is what he made it for. This is what ONPASSIVE is for. It's not for who can beat who or who can beat who down to get to the top. We are all equal. We are all here together, and together we will hold hands and support each other and make sure that we move together. Okay. So sorry, that's my 10 cents worth. Now, is there anybody else in Australia and New Zealand who would like to ask any questions? Yvonne, over to you, please.
And that was well said, Narelle. That was well said. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay,
Yvonne,
so I do apologise. I was kicked out about 7 times tonight. So I have a question being sent to me.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Do we get, Michael? Do we get commissions on the spillover from the start date?
Okay, so again, right? Every single one of us are going to be customers, right? And so as a result of that, commissions will be generated as soon as someone make a purchase, right? So if on the start date, let's say you have a team of 5, if on the start date nobody purchased anything on your team, okay, then there's a good chance that there's no commissions. Now, there's other factors that play a role, okay? So, overflow, right, which incorporates your join date, right, your timestamp, when you came into the business. So there will be aspect of that as well, okay? But one thing about our commission structure is that it is proprietary, okay? We're not putting it out there even to tell founders. Why? Because founders going to take it and put it up all over the place, even though they're told not to, okay? So it's for a good reason. People say, well, how come we don't know the numbers and this? It's for a good reason. It's in our own best interest because sometimes we are our own worst enemy, right? But the bottom line is that, people who have a team, okay, it's important. You'll be compensated if anyone on your team purchase. Okay, people who don't have a team, okay, again, the company can't guarantee you they're going to get something on day one. But what we do know is that as soon as you activate that account, there's credits. Okay, there are people who join businesses, as Narelle touched on, MLM and all that. There's people who joined companies in the past and they worked their butt off for a whole year and never even saw a dime, not even a 10 cent. They didn't make anything at all over that course of time they were with a particular company. And OnPassive says, listen, if somebody just verifies that their account is real, they're gonna get some credits, and we know credits translate to, okay, a dollar amount. Okay, so just from that alone, people will win, folks. People don't look at the small things, right? We always want to look at the big things. Oh, when am I going to make $10,000? When am I going to make? But just to make even a dollar, right? Just to make a dollar. If you can make $1, you can actually be a millionaire. Okay, because it's just a matter of repeating that over and over again. Eventually, you get to $1 million. Okay, but you just need to know how to make that dollar, though, right? All of us, I'm sure, had a job at some point if we don't have one right now. Okay. And so if we could work, so let's say you're getting paid $10 an hour. If we could work, as many hours as it takes to make $1 million, we would all be millionaires. It's just that it's physically impossible to do so. It's impossible. Okay, maximum we can work is 24 hours because that's all there is in a day. That's the max, right? So if you're making $10 an hour and you work 24 hours for the day, the maximum amount that you could make is $240 for that day. That's maximum. Right? You have to get an increase in pay in order to make more because there's no more hours that you could physically work. It's impossible. With our business, that's completely different, right? With a business, as long as you're making sales and you can make sales over and over again, OnPassive does not sleep. It's a business that runs 24/7, right? There are some people sleeping right now while we are awake, right? Around the world, right? In OnPassive, it doesn't matter. Right, it doesn't matter. So that's what's going to happen, Yvonne, is that, people are going to win regardless of overflow, regardless of teams, regardless of any of that stuff. But it will play a role, okay? People will see an increase just because of that fact, just because of how overflow plays a role within the company, okay? And again, people will be able to see it in a report when they pull off this, oh, I got paid for this, I got paid for that, how and why, is not important as long as people are enjoying themselves and their lives are being changed. Okay.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Thank you, Michael.
Okay,
is there any other questions?
We must be just repeating over. Anyone else have any questions? I just, before we head off, I'd just like to say thank you to Yvonne. I know it's been difficult tonight, Yvonne, with your internet connection. We do appreciate that you are here and always in the background helping. It takes a team to do anything, and running these webinars is not always easy. It takes those people in the background, the host, the co-hosts, everybody doing a little job. But we want to appreciate each and every one of you. Let's celebrate. Let's start to turn those upside down and let's get smiling, because we have a lot to smile about. And you know what? From the very first day when you paid your $97 US and your $5, credit card fee, equivalent to about $140, $150 in Australian dollar, probably more now. So lucky we got in when we did. And for those who bought extras to help, remember that's what we saw. We saw a vision. You listened to a couple of videos. You heard Ash. You may have heard Mike Ellis. It was Mike Ellis that did it for me. Don't tell him that. But it's amazing what you heard, what made you come in. And I know we've all got a story, and one day we'll be able to share that. We'll be able to share it with those around us, with the family that said, hey, I think this is, not so crash hot, or the people who actually walked away from you that thought you were stupid, or, that you were going down the wrong path. We all have somebody there that may have treated us wrongly, please forgive them because they don't know any different. And I'm sure that our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh, would say exactly the same. Okay, we need to stick together. We are here, Australia and New Zealand. We're only little, we're a huge country, but there's a lot in Australia and New Zealand who said no, okay? But remember, you know, we have the biggest opportunity here because people did say no, because they will want to use, because Australians are competitive as well as New Zealand, and they will want to use the best, okay? They will want to see what these products can do for us, to do for them and their business. So just remember that we are in exactly the right place right now. So let's celebrate, let's all join together, and let's thank Michael so much for him being here. Michael, I'll give you the floor for a few minutes and let you have your last words. Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, sure. Once again, just thank you so much, Narelle and Yvonne, for inviting me here. Thank you for waking me up early. I appreciate it. You know, but things are going to erupt, folks. I mean, you know, people just need to be excited. You know, I go to bed thinking about ONPASSIVE. I wake up in the morning thinking about ONPASSIVE because I know how many people around the world, billions, you know, more than 5 billion, okay? I know the population's around 8 billion, but I know for sure that more than 5 billion are in need of ONPASSIVE, right? And so to me, that is exciting. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to how many of those individuals can we say that we actually have impact, whether directly or indirectly, in assisting them going forward, right? And we can help every single one of them if we so choose, right? There's more than enough on this planet, right, to help people, put them in a state of mind, right, and put them into the right situation whereby they can thrive, where they can flourish, okay? We are here to live, right? We are here to live. And so many people for so many years have not been doing that, have not been living. They've just been surviving, right? And it's just not necessary, folks. Why a few can have so much, you know, Yvonne Narelle mentioned about the 97%, you know, of people that are trying. It's not that people are lazy and don't want to try. So many have tried, you know, but now here comes ONPASSIVE to get rid of the corruption, right? To be able to put people in a position where they can succeed. That is a beautiful thing, folks. I'm excited for that. And I can't wait for our CEO, you know, and the rest of the team, you know, to divulge a few more good nuggets later at noon. So get some shut-eye, because I know it's going to be early morning for Australia and New Zealand, you know, and certainly do your best to get on there, because things are going to erupt.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. I just want to also thank our Kenton Patterson for being here from New Zealand. I know it's very, very late for Kenton. It's 29 minutes past 12 over there. So it is very late. So thank you for staying up, Kenton. We really appreciate you being here. For any of those who've come in from overseas, thank you so much for getting up early to support us, because guess what? We support you guys at all hours of the morning. So thank you for kudos back. And thank you to everyone again for being here. We like to make it short, sweet. Michael, like I said, we've got the corporate coming up very soon. It will be 2 a.m. in the morning for me. So probably just grab an hour's sleep before I have to get on. But you know, we're all looking forward to it.
Narelle, sorry, can I just butt in? I just want to say thank you for taking control and doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Red. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, everybody. I've got to go and feed my babies. Okay.
Thank you, Yvonne, and again, thank you, Marty, and thank you, Red, and also thank you to Angie, who came in and opened up the webinar for us this evening. So appreciate you all. We're just going to open up our mics. We don't have long goodbyes here, so just say goodbye and we're out of here. See you at the corporate webinar, and again, thanks, Michael.
Go All Blacks.
Thank you, Michael, for
coming.
Wallabies.
Thank
you, Michael.
Later.
Good morning.
From the US.
You all have a good
Yes,
evening.
guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
For taking
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Recording stopped.